Light is one of the key requirements for obtaining informative crash test video recordings. The precise amount of light required for the desired shot or footage is called exposure, which is based on the interplay between the aperture and shutter speed. Let's take a closer look at these two factors. The aperture is the opening at the front of the lens, through which the light travels to reach the sensor. The size of this opening can be adjusted so that either more or less light reaches the sensor during a specified period of time. A wide-open aperture, which allows a lot of light to pass through, has a small f number, while a nearly closed aperture has a large f number. But the size of the aperture also has a direct influence on the sharpness of the image, referred to as depth of field, meaning that areas in front of and behind the object, depending on the aperture size, either farther away or nearer, are out of focus. Because everything in the frame needs to be sharp for crash tests, it's essential to work with the smallest aperture possible, meaning a large f number. The second factor is the shutter speed, or exposure time. This is the period of time in which the camera shutter is open, meaning the sensor is exposed. During a longer exposure time, a lot of light reaches the sensor, ensuring sufficient exposure. This can, however, also lead to unacceptable motion blurring if the object is moving. Slower shutter speeds are therefore out of the question for crash test shots and footage. The shortest possible exposure times need to be used. And shorter exposure times have to be compensated for with a great deal of light. So when it comes to filming for crash test analysis, the smallest possible aperture, the fastest possible exposure time, and as much lighting as possible are required. And that's exactly what Messring's M LIGHT LED delivers, plus a whole lot more. Over 100,000 lumen at 1,000 watts of power in less than 1/10,000th of a second, as well as up to 50,000 operating hours, speak for themselves. By using LED technology, temperature-sensitive objects, such as the dummy, are not subjected to any infrared radiation, despite the high output. The sensitive dummy, therefore, doesn't heat up. To ensure even greater luminous efficacy, the lamps can be synchronized with the camera shutter. During actual exposure, the lamp increases its output by 100%, as more light means better pictures. And whether in continuous wave or pulsed, the M LIGHT is ideal for constant operation in any of its modes. Select the appropriate focus of the beam of light for your requirements and use much less energy thanks to the new Messring LED technology. Whether for smaller setups or highly complex crash test facilities, Messring can provide you with all the required components for your lighting installation. M LIGHT LED for perfect lighting.